Good morning, my friend. This is Heather Dunlop. And what I want to share with you today is what happens when you decide to start, even if you're not ready. You see, what happens is if we feel like we're not ready and we keep asking questions and we keep looking for evidence that others have done it. See, this comes into play a lot of the times when we're doing something for the very first time. And we keep researching and looking for the answers and looking for answers to questions we don't necessarily know we even need to ask or that are going to matter when we're in the process of doing this thing that we want to do. And our brain says, this is new. I don't like this. It's not familiar. So here's the resistance. And the resistance shows up in the way of, you're not ready. You can't do this. You can only do it when you're ready. Well, here's the question. How do you know you're ready if you haven't started? How do you know you're ready if you are doing this for the very first time? And what if asking all those questions are just delaying you from getting up to the start line and preventing you from taking that first step? Because the beautiful thing that happens is when we actually start to do the thing we're doing, answers will arrive and they will show up and they'll be timely in when they arrive. They won't say you need to go, like when I started a marathon, I had never run 26.2 miles before. What started to show up for me was here's a training plan and start working that training plan day by day. Here's some information about how to make sure you have the right sneakers for your feet and the way you run and your gait so that you won't feel pain as you continue to put in all these hours of training. And as I started to go, each time I went out for a training run that was longer than the one I had done 2 weeks prior on that Saturday morning, I would start to uncover evidence that says you are ready because you're actually in the process of doing it. So when we're doing it, we get the information we need at the time, right? It's called just in time learning. We learn what we need to as we're in that step. So, for example, let's say starting a business, right? There's so many questions. How do we get leads? How do we do sales? How do I do marketing? How do I? And I can sit there and I can keep asking, how do I do this? And it may not even apply when I'm actually in the process of doing it. Or it may just be a distraction that takes me off on a different tangent and prevents me from doing the thing I actually want to do, right? So if you're looking to start a business, start at the very beginning and ask, what do I want my business to be? And then when you have that and you have that vision, you can move forward and you're not going to feel ready. There's things that we are doing that we can do in our lives and we'll feel really comfortable. So let's use work as an example, right? Let's use our business. You've been doing this for a couple of years, right? And you're in the process of it and you know what you need to do to create the results you currently have. And let's say you come up and you say, you know what, I've got a new goal and I want to stretch myself to get there. And there's things that have to happen along the way. And you don't know what those things are. The best way to start to figure them out is take that first step. And then as you take that step, the scenery changes. And as the scenery changes, new information reveals itself. And then you say, okay, here's a piece that's going to get me to step number two. And you do that and you're in step number two, and the scenery changes again. And then step three will reveal itself. You see, what we need to know is the destination of where we're going. We don't need to know all of the steps of how to achieve and get to that destination when we're getting started. We just need to start. So if you find yourself in a situation where you feel like, oh, I have to keep looking for information here, and I have to pull in this because I didn't receive the information that I think I might possibly need. And here's a list of 100 questions that I have to answer before I can get started. And you know what? 95 of those questions may not even apply. You may never access them. So there was time spent on that instead of time spent getting into your business. and building your business. So this is all about, when we're changing our identity, the same thing happens. When we heal ourselves, I know what I want and how I'm going to feel and behave when I'm healed. I just don't know every step along the way as to how that healing is going to come to be. And guess what? When you allow that openness, that you get started and you allow yourself to learn as you go, you'll uncover things that are absolutely truly amazing and may be the thing that puts you so much further down the road than what you were trying to figure out before you even started your healing journey. So start it. Just get started and allow the answers to reveal themselves as they go, because they will. This is Heather Dunlop. And if you're interested in having a call with me, let's have a conversation. Let's take this to the next level, because you and I get to have a conversation about why you're not starting and why you may be delaying your healing journey. And let's get that going so that you can get in and find that next step, because that's all we need to do is work on the next step, and we'll get there together. So if you're interested in having a conversation, comment the word transform or message me the word transform, and we'll get together, have a conversation, and put together the beginning steps and get you started on your way to your healing journey. Always remember, you have strength